So here's a weird thought ahead. What do jellyfish that never dies, an astronaut stuck on Mars, and a high school student asking for a gender neutral bathroom all have in common? Honestly, I didn't know either until I looked back on everything I did in AP Capstone. This podcast is my chance to reflect on that journey. I'll share what I've learned through AP seminar and AP research, not just about science or policies, but about curiosity, empathy, and asking better questions. It started with my AP seminar IRR. I chose to research the psychological effects of long term space travel, specifically how astronauts might struggle mentally during missions to Mars. I went in thinking it'd be about training or gear, but then I read a quote from Antonio Paris who said that isolation and confinement are the biggest challenges. That stuck with me. Imagine being on a planet for 2 or 3 years, unable to talk to anyone outside your crew, waiting 40 minutes just to get a reply from us. That insight hit me hard, and strangely, it made me reflect on myself on how much I value connection and how damaging disconnection can be not just in space but anywhere. That feeling of wanting to overcome isolation led me to a new kind of question. What if we could beat aging altogether? In AP research, I dove into the biology of Turritopsis nutricula, the so-called immortal jellyfish. I asked if we could apply its ontogenic reversal, a process where it literally transforms back into its younger self to treat aging-related diseases like Alzheimer's. Using bioinformatics and comparative analysis, I explored gene expression in things like FOXO3 and TRT. It was complicated and I'll admit sometimes overwhelming. But what kept me going was this sense of wonder. I wasn't just researching a jellyfish, I was chasing the possibility of something more. And then there was my IWA on unisex bathrooms for LGBTQ students. The one challenged me in a completely different way. I don't identify as LGBTQ, but I realized how careless at being with language I used to call myself normal without thinking. Then I read Ted Thomas and Ira Chalef's work on intelligent disobedience. They talked about the need to challenge rules that are unjust, even if they come from authority. That made me realize that calling myself normal implies something very not normal about others. It was one of those moments where you stop and go, whoa, I have a lot to unlearn. We had some intense class discussions too. Some peers challenged my perspective, and honestly, I'm glad they did it. It made me more thoughtful, more open, and more aware of the power of words. Looking back, one of the best parts of Capstone wasn't just the writing and or research, it was the conversations. Like during a peer review, someone asked me, if you could actually live forever, would you want to? The question still lives in my head. AP Capstone didn't just teach me how to research a topic, it taught me how to see through others' eyes, through data, and through questions that don't always have answers. And honestly, I think that's what real learning looks like. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What if the future isn't just about how far we can go or how long we can live, but about how deeply we understand one another while we are here?